Hi guys, DonSkilled here. This time we're going to be looking at Max's GoWiWi attack against this base, number 6 from the MountainShadow war. It was a great attack. He got the 2-star against this base. There's not a whole lot to say about the overall strategy because the overall strategy was great. Just a simple point of execution that may have made the difference between the 2-star and the 3-star. This is a good base in my opinion to GoWiWi or GoWiWi because it has fairly largish compartments and a relatively few number. I mean, it's not the smallest number of compartments, but it's a mid-sized number of compartments, I would say. The idea that I think Max had, which I think was a good idea, was to bring Golem into this compartment and a Golem into this compartment, and then as they're coming in, the wizards and witches and stuff would also wipe out this, because these would be locked onto the golems, and the wizards and witches could just have free reign. Once into here, he was going to drop jump spell so that it overlapped both of this corner, and this corner, bringing all his troops into the core, and then hopefully enough of the defenses have been taken out by that point. You know, all of these defenses will have been taken out, that his troops would be able to work their way around the back. There's not a lot of defenses left after that. I think it would have worked. What ends up happening is the golems go here. It's good placement. I like the golem placement a lot. It gets all of the main defenses targeted on it, so they're not targeting the wizards and witches. But then he sends his wall breakers in, and they end up dying to a mortar blast, and that's what ends up making it so that the golems can't get in here. Instead, a wall breaker opens up here, and both golems come in here. Now, it's never a great thing when both golems go into the same compartment because they're no longer doing the tanking duty that you wanted them to for two sides. They're only doing tanking duty in the middle, which leaves all the wizards and witches and whatever that come in this way exposed to all of this fire. The other thing that it does is it makes it harder for the wizards and witches to take these buildings out. And so these, you'll see, end up doing more damage in the end. Now the heroes finally come in and clear all this out, but they probably could have got a lot further if they weren't there. Yeah, let's go ahead and oh, one more thing to note. Max does the CC pull by bringing hogs in from up here. His idea was, I believe, to take this building out and to have them go on and either take one of these buildings out. He brings a lot of hogs, so he was definitely planning to try to take some buildings out, not just do the lure, which is a great idea. I love taking out buildings in addition to doing the lure. The only trouble is that there happened to be giant bombs right here, and the hogs passed right over them, and so they died almost immediately. They were there long enough to get the pull, but not long enough to do any damage. Now that's not entirely something that Max should feel bad about, because that's not exactly the most obvious place to put a bomb, so I might not have seen it either. But it is worth noting that it is the type of place where a bomb sometimes is, so you might want to watch out for those. It doesn't scream out at you, there's a bomb here, but you may want to consider it. Alright, let's go ahead and watch the replay and we'll see what I was just talking about. Okay, here comes the CC pull. I love the idea, I just wish the bombs weren't there. It's such bad luck, you know. I hate that when it's not a point of your own execution that failed, it was just bad luck. But he still recovers from it and does a great job. The CC kill is great. These guys don't stand a chance. And here come the golems. The golem placement is really good. You notice everything's locked onto the golems except for these wizard towers, which are pesky and are doing some damage to the wizards here. Unfortunately, here come the wall breakers, and what do you see? Mortar blast in the air. Wall breakers and mortar blast in the air. They're not going to make it. What can you do about that? It's often difficult in the middle of battle to try to time the mortar blast, and if you wait till a mortar blast hits and then drop, you're guaranteed that they're going to make it, but at the same time you may have wasted enough time that your golem is dead or you're losing wizards and stuff, so it's a tricky proposition. One thing that I noticed, a little trick from watching Hulk's videos, is you drop your golem here on this building, but instead of just dropping the wall breakers in on the same spot that the golem's going, which we all do, because it seems like that's the spot you want to open up, right? Drop them in on this spot. It's so simple, I don't know why we haven't thought of it before, but it works like a charm. All of the mortars are going to be firing on that golem. That's the whole point of dropping the golem, was to lock the defenses in on it. Well, while those defenses are locked in, the wall breakers have free reign to go right here. Boom, open it up. You have no chance that a mortar blast is going to hit him because the mortars are shooting right here. Now, of course, then the golem's going to have to redirect and walk over, but that's not a big deal. You know, that's fine. He doesn't have to walk that far to get in. So that's something I'm going to try to do in the future, and I encourage you guys to try it too. You do have to be slightly careful in that, for example, here, this cannon isn't locked on to the golem, and so he may shoot your wall breakers, which really stinks. I hate that. So if I was planning this base out, I might maybe have put my golem here on this cannon so that this cannon would be locked on the golem, and then did the wall breaker here. That way I'm ensured that I've ensured that they're not going to get hit. But if my golem did come in where his golems were, then maybe I would have dropped 3 wall breakers so that when one got shot by this I get mortar and cannon confused. When I'd bring in 3, so when one got shot by that cannon, the other 2 would still be able to do their job. On this side, it's not a problem because there is no cannon sitting right there. This is not going to be able to make it, and this isn't going to be able to make it. So, and all of these are locked onto the golem, so 2 coming in would have taken care of the job. Alright, let's continue on. Oh, there go our wall breakers. These ones make it, but that's unfortunately going to suck both of the golems into the center, like we talked about. Now, the raid still goes pretty well from here. He gets his heals down to keep everybody alive, which I like. Down goes the jump spell to bring everybody into the center. I might have liked to have seen the king and the queen come down sooner so that they would come in and help these guys out. These guys kind of just all peter out and die on their own, especially with the king here killing him and everything else firing him in. But here they come now, and they're going to come in and finish this off, and it's going to be basically a 2-star by the strength of the king and the queen. At the point that the king and the queen come in and most of the other defenses are down, we're only at 39%, but they're managed to just kick some butt, which is great. We'll go ahead and speed it up. Oops, that's not speed it up, that's pause. I like the heal placement right there to keep that BK alive just long enough. It was imperative to get that town hall. That BK was alive long enough just to make it so that the queen could come in. So, way to make the most of what's going on at the moment. You know, like the raid wasn't going how he wanted it to, but by being smart and not just giving up, he was still able to get the 2 stars. So great attack, Max. Came down to just those wall breakers. I think if those wall breakers would have made it, it would have been the 3-star.